death heads and violators. Welcome to the Deth-N-Vengeance show. I'm your host, Jonny Deth. With me always, Majin Drew, and the very, very evil Eddie Gein. Deth-N-Vengeance show, coming at ya.
Hello out there, you death heads and violators. It is I, Jonny Deth, here to bring you a new episode of Deth-N-Vengeance. With me as always, the gruesome two, Eddie Gein and Majin Drew.
What up, people?
Say hi to the camera, folks.
Hi, folks. Oh, look,
All right, today's episode, we'll give you a vengeful review from a being not from this earth who comes down to our world with a symbiotic fist. And
very sexual.
Very sexual, yes. And he rises through the ranks as an anti-hero. You know him, you love him. He kills and eats only bad people. I bring you Venom.
Ooh. Now,
Eddie.
whoa.
I'm talking to you.
Hey, you're talking to him, but I'm getting the shivers, bro. My balls are strip up, bro.
Yes, if you couldn't figure it out, we're going to review the movie Venom. We actually went to go see it on Friday that just passed, and going into it, we were kind of skeptical because every time we get excited about a new movie, Marvel or DC or whatever,
Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, we get let down. So we were kind of like going into it with not the highest of hopes. Is that safe to
I had
say?
really those expectations just because I didn't want to set myself up.
Look, these two had low fucking expectations, but I didn't. It's fucking Venom. I mean, yes, we got bitch slap on fucking Spider-Man 3. Fuck you.
Hey, you don't live in my attic. Why are you thinking the?
Yeah, but the thing is that like the first trailer they showed, it was kind of shitty.
Yeah, the movie definitely leaves a lot of stuff out, which is good because you don't want to see everything.
They left out symbiote. So I was really glad about that.
Yeah, I was really fucking. It's a symbiote, motherfuckers. Symbiote. How does he do it in fucking Boondock Saints? Symbolism. Just what is the symbolism? Fucking
as you can see, this is a trigger word for the gruesome too. If you say
exactly,
and you catch you on the street and you say symbiote, they'll probably attack you on sight. And
no, you know what I'm wondering is like, did they have to go back and re-edit like all those scenes just to make it like?
I fucking think so.
Or no, I think they probably just got the audio and been like, oh, you have to say symbiote. Because the whole internet got pissed off.
No, what fucking happened?
No, because the gruesome two on Deth-N-Vengeance were pissed and they
exactly like this. It's a fucking little ass thing, and I'm fucking ticked to high hell.
You know, I'm gonna share a little bit of personal information about the movie. It's safe to say that some of the Deth-N-Vengeance cast was a little bit under the influence.
You can tell that story.
Okay.
No, we don't have to go into the whole story, but let's just say.
The devil's lettuce said hi.
We had
whoa.
There was Cheech and Chong elements at play before we went to the movie.
Can I mention
that might have added to the pleasure of our experience, but who knows?
I honestly I want to mention like fucking your version of Chong is like fucking riveting, bro.
Like, hey man,
like
what the hell's wrong with that dude's face, man?
But as Mr. Deth here has been talking about,
man, it's a symbiote, man. It's a symbiote, man. Oh, cool, man. I used to play with the symbiotes, man. They have a groovy bass player, man.
Are you not on fucking Broadway, bro?
Oh, I'm too ugly for Broadway.
Oh, fuck you, Broadway. But anyways, as Mr. Deth was saying here, yes, we got together on Friday, cuddle up with some relaxing on the chairs. Couple circle jerks here.
End up bringing that blanket in?
No, the infamous Texan blanket. Thank you, Chris. Talk to you later about that. Anyways, but we sat down and we watched Venom to its entirety. Was it a packed house? Do you remember? If it was a packed house?
No, there was a lot of empty
There was
seats.
a couple empty seats.
There were some few empty seats. I
But
mean,
then
we
the-
could have just like spread
And
out.
again,
we went to the late
show.
showing, so we didn't get out to damn near.
I think that was
after
the last show too, right?
Yeah, it was the last show.
It was damn near 1 in the morning when he got out. Maybe like 12 something, maybe. But so
Like 12:30.
But before we get into like the all gory details of how Venom licked us and kissed us and made us
spoiler
scream,
alert, just so you know.
yes, spoilers fucking alert. If you haven't seen the movie, fuck you, go. But Mr. Death, the floor is yours. Please illiterate us about Venom.
All right. Well, being a fan of the comic books, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of backstory. It was actually Venom was actually created by I can't remember the other guy's name, but Todd McFarlane was one of the co-creators of Venom. He at the time when he was before he started Spawn, he was working for Marvel, and they wanted him to work on some of the Spider-Man comics. And at the time, Spider-Man was donning the black suit from the Secret Wars. This was like 89, 90 after the Secret Wars comics, and McFarlane was like, if I'm gonna work on Spider-Man, I want it to be the red and blue and the classic Spider-Man. So they like, okay, well, what do we do with this fucking thing? And so they wrote in the whole like, actually Venom was originally supposed to be a female, but they pitched it and they thought it was a good idea at first, but then they kind of like explained the backstory and they're like, well, I don't think that's gonna be like they couldn't see a female being an actual threat to Spider-Man. Sexism at play. What can I say? So they end up changing the character to Eddie Brock, which if you look in the comic books, he's a big hulking fucking. Not that Tom Hardy isn't, but and so then they had that. And actually, his original teeth were just regular like teeth, like big, And then it wasn't until later on they added the whole fangs. And I was actually listening to a interview with Tom McFarlane, and he said he's not a big fan of the whole tongue thing. He's like he wanted it to be more like a lizard, to come out and be like and then retract. But he's like he's not a fan of the whole slithering, real slow tongue out, whatever. But yeah, so I was coming to this as a old school fan. So as you know, when it comes to movies and things that I love, I'm real critical about it. So I mean, I leave little room for error. If they fuck up, I'm gonna call them out and be like, hey, But now I was pleasantly surprised. I can't wait for the sequel. I know it's probably not gonna be out till probably like 2020 or some shit or whatever. But I mean, I like the movie. Drew.
Yeah, I was he as he was saying there, the comic books was the first Venom. I didn't see Venom until the Spider-Man animated series that was on like Fox Kids. Of course, it's very memorable because if you go back now, it's like really dark. There's actually fucking dark points about it, especially with Venom itself. I am
traumatized by some of the episodes. Like remember fucking Hydro Man?
Oh,
that whole
God.
little arc with the clone and
yes, and then Mary Jane was a clone.
Yeah, the whole time she was a clone. That was
fucking. They took the idea from me. I always thought we should be able to clone pussy. No, actually, you know what? An interesting fact. Venom appeared, I believe, in 1988. I want to say, or I believe it was a debut. But there's a kind of like I don't want to say a myth that he's actually linked in a way to the Iron Fist, and I'll explain how. If you read a lot of the old, maybe like early 80s, late 70s Iron Fist comic books, every issue his uniform would get torn up and ripped up, and then the next comic it would be like miraculously back to normal. And the creator that was doing, he said that he, since he's this mythical, immortal Kunlun figure, that he had some kind of thing in his clothes that, because they say they can't picture the Iron Fist after a fight going, oh, let me just fucking sew this shit back together, and so in his, his costume so he had this idea that, hey, his costume regenerates. So when they were doing this, the idea for Venom, they're like, hey, can we use that, that concept that his stain kind of like regenerates, and so and that's kind of like, and the guy's like, yeah, you can borrow that idea that he, I guess, was using with Iron Fist. So in a weird way, Iron Fist helped create Venom because it was in that way. So that's kind of cool that they're linked like that. It's a nice little fact.
That is a little
Venom
fact.
and Kunlun.
I mean, that's the first fucking fact I ever heard about that.
Iron Fist. Yeah, Google it. I can't remember the guy's name, but yeah, he came up with that idea for Iron Fist, that after every battle, like when he goes home and kicks his feet up and has a bowl of Rice Krispies and shit, that his suit or whatever he's wearing, will just kind of regenerate itself, like it has magical properties. And so that same concept, like you see Venom, he'll rip off his thing, then it'll go back or whatever. So that kind of, he asked him before, he's like, hey, can I borrow that concept, because we're trying to make this old Venom character work. And so yeah, if you look at some of the first comics with Venom, he doesn't have the fangs. His teeth are real like human teeth, they're just bigger and stuff, and looks kind of different than the way he looks now. But yeah,
I'm just trying to picture it right now. But as I was saying, like I'm not gonna like disrespect his knowledge, but he has a very vast knowledge. This fucker can tell you anything from the past and the future.
It's one of the benefits of being old.
But as I was saying, I watched Venom come out on the '90s version of Spider-Man. Hey, Thwit was not even thinking. It was. Anyways, but also I remember watching him in like the I think it's not Ultimate, it's Unlimited Spider-Man. Spider-Man Unlimited.
Oh yeah,
where
he goes to what is it, Mars?
No, it's the other version of Earth, and it's all like they're all hybrids of animals, and Venom and Carnage are actually
high evolutionary.
Yeah, and that's where it kind of explores more of Venom and Carnage's marriage, because apparently like I didn't even know until I actually read it on, I forgot where. I think it was like just one side I was blowing up after porn. But I remember they said like Venom and Carnage in that series had like this weird, tacky kind of I Love Lucy marriage. Because I do remember the episodes like when Brock got separated from the symbiote. Oh, fuck you. Like Brock starts to get sick because that cancer that was hiding back him, that symbiote was holding back from him. Bond with Spider-Man so he can don the black suit one more time, and then comes back to Eddie, and then he saves the people that were helping him, and then I don't know where Carnage just comes and says, "Oh, honey, you're home." Like out of nowhere, like that's where you can actually see like the relationship was kind of quirky and funny, but it didn't really show who Carnage really is. But later on, I grown used to Venom, and then I saw in the comics now there's another version which is actually through the bully of Peter Parker, Flash Thompson. Agent Venom, I think that's what it's called. And then I read that little story arc, and that was actually kind of a good one. It was more darker than I thought. Like it dealt with Thompson just like losing his limbs, and the symbiote was actually like
I think he went to like Iraq or some shit like that, and then came back limbless or something, right?
It was something like that. But other than that, the movie was great. I loved it. It had its funny moments. I know people are like, "Oh, it's not Venom," and it's funny, but we all have to remember Venom has that sense of humor where he's actually a little dark. I mean, come on. But
so Eddie, what did you think?
So pretty much just like Andrew, like I didn't really read the comics too much, but I did see the animated series, one from the '90s. There's a couple of good story arcs with that. Like they had the whole secret suit. I forgot what that.
Secret War one.
Well, that comes in later. Like, but how they introduce it. Well, they do the whole crash landing thing with the.
Jonah's son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they did show that part in the movie, which I liked, and then after that, it's like pretty much the same. Like he makes his way to Spider-Man first, but they don't really. They're trying to keep Spider-Man away from Venom for this one, I guess. And then later on, he makes his way to Flash, Eddie Brock.
Eddie Brock,
Yeah.
But dude, good fucking eye about like the Jonah Jameson fucking little Easter egg that was there. I was fucking in awe too. Like,
Yeah, because they were just like, we had one survivor, J Jonah Jameson.
yeah, Jameson.
But they said Jay Jameson, so
Jay Jameson.
So it's like,
and then we were all like, oh, that's his son.
But yeah, it was. I thought it was funny.
See, I went into it with a really low expectation, so like for it just to be okay, like it kind of made it like even better because I was just like, oh, this movie's gonna fucking suck, and I'm gonna leave like really angry at it. So
like, I want my money back in my pocket.
but I thought it was just okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad, but yeah, I definitely see a sequel coming.
I think it's what we were talking about after the movie was, I think they're gonna do what we call the Deadpool, quote unquote. Like the first movie was really good, and then in the second one they took all the good stuff that everybody reacted to in the first movie and they just like doubled it. So I think that's what they're gonna do with this one. They're gonna take all the stuff that people liked about it and they're gonna amplify that more. So there's gonna be like more conversation between Eddie and the symbiote.
Fuck you. Take away.
And stuff like that, more
fucking Jonny Deth has always raised a fucking grammar dragons, huh?
symbiote.
Fuck
Anyway,
you.
so I think that and they're gonna show more like spoiler alert, but there's a lot of scenes where he's like flying around, like running up buildings and stuff, and so I like those things. When you see him running around, like doing like acrobatics, pretty cool. Wish we could see more of that, and then also like I said, the dialogue between Eddie and the symbiote was pretty cool. Yeah, because like at one point where he's gonna jump out of a window, he's like Eddie, jump out the window, and you see like Tom Hardy going to the fucking elevator, and he's all like pussy, yeah. And then, so that got a chuckle out of the audience. So that was a good scene.
Would you say the whole audience chuckled about that?
Yeah,
pretty much.
Like it was one of those moments that was just like, wow.
You weren't expecting it. You just like out of nowhere, you just like.
I thought it had like a great amount of like fucking decapitation from the heads, bro.
They didn't show too much of it, like the actual like bodies. Like,
yeah, but like just the sense that like this is out of nowhere.
I think he did that to at least 3 people.
Yeah,
I remember.
But what fucking movie do you remember that would have like 3 decapitations in like the whole movie?
Saw maybe.
Shut up. I know your answer.
No, but it was good. I liked it. I mean, it was all around. It was a good experience. Like I love the movie. It had me some sour Skittles and fucking Coke Icy and some popcorn. I ate the last of the popcorn. My half was on the bottom, so I ate the last of the popcorn.
Like some candy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I snuck in some Now Laters and some Twizzlers by the sweat of my balls, if you know what I'm saying.
He put it in his prison purse.
I put it in my prison wallet. My prison pocket. My prison wallet. I keistered some of that stuff.
Yeah, but
is that where the pitchy sticks? Hang on.
I think universally everybody thought it was gonna be really shitty or not really good. So everybody was just coming in with like low expectations.
Well, I know we did. I don't know. Well, honestly, like, have y'all researched any of the box office?
You know what? That's what I should have fucking done today because I was thinking about it. I wanted to research like opening fucking night. I wanted to research that.
I think it made the last time I checked it was 80,000 phones. I'm pretty sure it's way more than that now.
Like, is there any way we can pull out a phone?
They were projecting that it did really.
Yeah, good. Look for it and then like we'll fucking.
It was like number 1 in the box office.
They always say like number 1 in the box.
Yeah,
but it was competing.
I would look it up, but I got a Parasite.
It was competing against that lady.
Oh, yeah, that one. But also, I think I like that part where Venom actually found it like sickening to call him a parasite. He thought it was racist in the term for him, right?
What?
That calling Venom a parasite.
Yeah, it was like calling him the N word or something.
You take that back.
Yeah, he called him a parasite. He's like, take it back, Eddie.
He's like, all right. Your liver looks delicious. But I mean,
Well, so far it says it made 125 million, and it's like dominating the box office. So internationally, so I mean that's.
What did it gross?
I
mean, how much did they make that for?
Well, now it's at 205 million. So I guess the opening day it was like 125. Now it's at 205 million globally. So I mean it's making money. It's
doing good.
Even if it does
because they estimated it was going to be 80. It was going to make at least 80 million just with the fan base alone, but they shattered that with 125 million, and then now it's at 205.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna make a sequel.
Oh shit! Yeah, they're gonna make a sequel.
Even if nobody thought it was.
I mean,
which
spoilers.
Which brings me to my something else I got to bring up about the movie.
I need
which
to fucking sign major spoilers.
Symbiotes. No, we see because they're asking, hey, do you think we'll see the C word? And I'm not saying it's not the word that rhymes with punt, but the other C word, carnage.
See you next Tuesday kind of person.
Yeah, I there was an interview with the filmmakers, and they were like, and they said, yes, you're gonna see carnage in the movie. They said maybe not the way you expect, but there is going to be a version. That's what they say, quote unquote, a version of Carnage.
But like how I thought they were going to do it, like originally how they do it, like before you even tell them how it really happened. But I really thought they're going to like put it in the background, like on the computer, like a file that said Operation Carnage or something like that, like or what's his name? Cassidy, right? Something Cassidy.
Yeah.
Like a file says Cletus Cassidy.
Yeah, Cletus Cassidy. Like I thought we were going to see that, like that little snippet. But John, tell them what we saw.
Basically, the old lady from Nutty Professor came out and said, "Come on, Cletus, come on, come on, Cletus, I got a fucking knife in my bag." No, it was in the post credits. I'm hoping there was just one, and we didn't miss one because we stayed, and it was a good maybe fucking 15 minutes before they got to it finally, and. Eddie Brock comes in. You see him driving up to a prison, and he goes in, and they're giving him like instructions, like when they do with Hannibal Lecter, don't get too close to the thing, or don't do whatever and shit like that. And he goes in, he's talking to Woody Harrelson, who's playing Cletus Cassidy, aka Carnage, and as cool as that scene was, his fucking wig was horrendous.
Yeah.
It was like they got Ronald McDonald's wig. And then they got a whole bunch of chickens, and the chickens raped the top of his head and started fucking his head, and raping.
They had a cockfight.
I think I even audibly said, "What the fuck?"
Exactly. Yeah. I felt it like from the right there on. He was like, Johnny was between me and Eddie, but I felt like him going, "Oh fuck this." Like seriously, I knew like you had that. Oh man, fuck this shit.
My asshole did a flutter in a Twitter. And and my ball sack turned into a symbiote, and it was horrible. I was like, I hope they lose that fucking wig. I know we're not the only ones to notice that, so I don't know. Maybe that there's other people doing reviews.
I've heard that some people like it, and some people like me, they fucking hated it.
Who? The people who fucking look gingers?
I don't know. I saw it was
I think it's because Woody Harrelson looks like this. He's got my kind of chrome dome. And then just like if I put on a wig right now, you'd be like, oh no.
But he pulls it off, honestly. Like fucking what's that movie? The one that he did with Juliette Lewis.
Natural Born Killers.
Yes, Natural Born Killers. Shaved head, perfect as fucking shit. Like why can't they just make Cassidy like bald?
Well, they're probably
because he's a redhead. And that's what he's known for in the comics.
Yeah.
Even when the guard introduces him, he's like, "Hey, Red, we got a visitor for you."
Yeah. Oh yeah, that is true. I fucking forgot.
So yeah, that's kind of one of his telltale. I think they threw it in there because, comic book fans would know automatically. Oh, I know who that is. Right off the bat. But then there's some people that are like, kind of casual that maybe know about the character or maybe have seen a couple. Guys watch. Maybe they just watched the cartoon. They didn't even know it was, whatever or something like that. So then they're kind of like
by Red Venom.
Yeah. So then they might know who that might be, or maybe their boyfriend or girlfriend was like, hey, that's and honey,
Hey
who's
Frank,
that?
what's the name of that guy? The guy that's like red and shit.
His name's
Like,
Clitoris Cassidy.
is
And
it clitoris?
yeah, and so either that or they're gonna prompt them to go and like Google it, and either way, it's gonna create good buzz for the movie. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And so
Do you know Carnage has a comic book line on his own?
Yeah.
yeah,
Maximum Carnage, right?
Yeah, I think so. Or I thought it was Total Carnage.
yeah, he's got his own.
But do you think they're like gonna re-up it, like like rebirth it?
Well, right now, since there's a lot of buzz about Venom and Carnage, I'm pretty sure they'll make up a like reboot the series at least or something like that.
Possibly.
Yeah, they're probably doing the new Symbiote series. Sorry.
Asshole.
Uh,
Anyways, between the fucking popcorn, drinks, and little hand gestures from all three of us.
Let's go into pros and cons.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Gein. You first, because you actually, I like your opinion better, because you kind of give like this harsh opinion, like you're fucking Simon Cowell of
Well,
reviewing.
Let's go first with the pros. Probably the thing I liked the most about the movie was like the whole interaction between Tom Hardy and Tom Hardy as Venom. Like they had a bunch of
Symbiote.
they had a bunch of like funny scenes where like they're just arguing with each other. There's like a part where he's like running. He's like on the land with Venom, and he's like, "Oh, on my world, I was a loser, just like you."
Yeah.
What he says like he's telling him, "Hey, why don't you just go back to your world?" And he's like, oh, "In my world, I'm kind of a loser, just like you."
Yeah.
Just little things like that. I really like the action and all the CGI for Venom. I thought that was probably like the best part of the movie.
Yeah, it was pretty
Or
good.
like the action scenes. What about you, Drew?
I'm not gonna lie, I love the whole movie. Like, other these guys, they have like biased opinions. I love the fucking movie in general. Like, yes, I will buy it when it comes out. But I mean, two things kind of threw me off. I remember in Venom, Eddie Brock being more insane because like he would always never say I or you.
The reason why
he would always say we.
He did say we a lot, though.
Yeah, I mean, but not in the sense of like. But
Well,
after that whole little, I want to say like cupcake phase of their beginning of the relationship. Yes, it was we. But later on, you see him just like act normal.
Well, also you gotta understand like the storyline for this Venom movie is a little bit different than the comic book. In the comic books, I hate to say it, but the third Spider-Man movie, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie, where you see Eddie going in the church and he's all like fucking Spider-Man, fucking with Peter Parker, and that's kind of what happens. He's Eddie Brock's pissed off at Spider-Man because he
fired.
because he called bullshit on some of his stories, and so he got him like people. So this one's a lot different. This one, he's a hotshot reporter. He's got the Eddie Brock show and stuff,
but he did mention that like he got kicked out of New York.
Yeah, he goes then he does mention that he got kicked out, and then the girlfriend's like, why did and he's like, I don't want to talk about it, whatever. So I mean that could be that little gap of why So I don't know. I think that's because in the comic book that's why he's a little more angry and a little more
But do you think
vicious?
You think at that point he already met
Parker?
Yeah, Parker.
Maybe because they wouldn't have mentioned New York.
Well, I mean, it is Sony, right?
Well, I hope they introduce like that little like a little Easter egg in the next Spider-Man movie where he's like, oh yeah, it was like you'll see Tom Holland be like, oh yeah,
why don't they just get
remember that jerk that worked at the reporting company or something? It's like some little Easter egg like that. I think that'd be pretty cool.
But that makes me want to go back to like Homecoming and see if Eddie Brock has been mentioned.
If they do, then that's what I'm saying. They'll probably do it in the next movie.
But I mean, like, isn't it like Sony partner with Fox?
I think the next movie, I don't think they're gonna talk about Spider-Man. I think it's gonna be another standalone, and then because I think they're waiting for the next Infinity Wars to come out because
Oh yeah.
technically Spider-Man is non-existent if they go with the whole Tom Hardy. I mean, or Tom Holland. Or what's his name?
Dissipate. Yeah. Tom
Yeah,
Holland.
yeah. If they go with his Spider-Man, then he's technically not alive yet.
Mr. Stark.
So
I want to go.
I don't want that Mr.
Okay.
Stark. You dumb fuck.
The
When
funny
you-
thing out of that whole
I
fucking
don't feel
movie,
good, Mr.
Yeah.
Stark.
like
And then,
I
you
wanted
know,
to cry and laugh at
Next
the
time,
same
next time I have diarrhea and I'm throwing up, and they say, "John, what's wrong?" I'm like, "I don't feel good, Mr. Stark. I gotta go home."
Fuck you.
I got a parasite. I don't feel good, Mr. Stark.
Fuck
Bye.
you.
No, so I think they're gonna wait maybe till after the next Infinity Wars and when Spider-Man comes. Yeah, another spoiler. Spider-Man's he's coming back to life. All you fucking idiots that think
It's been
that-
around for fucking months
Yeah.
already, bitches.
if you think that they really killed Spider-Man and all
We don't
these
want you to
people-
go. You know, Spider-Man doesn't die in the hands of Stark.
But
Fuckers.
anyway,
It's by Fury. Fury kills Spider-Man. Dicks.
and then he comes in contact with a symbiote. Anyway, so yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen. I think the next movie, because they do mention that there's millions and millions of these symbiotes out there, so I'm thinking maybe some of them come down, or you know that
Well, they also had,
that Drake guy might have sent probes, you know, or some shit, you know,
They
that we
still
don't
had
know
some in
about.
tubes, didn't they?
Yeah.
No, they died.
They all died.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's always some kind of like, you know, oh, well, Mr. Drake didn't tell anybody, but there's extra, you know, or he sent a probe up, whatever, or
Yeah,
you
'cause
know,
the
or
one-
maybe there's like some stowed on the ship, you know what I mean, that weren't in jars. Maybe there's some that hit out on like in the spaceship when it
And
crashed.
I feel like they are gonna do that because if you go back into the Amazing Spider-Man, the one with Andy Garfield, I think whatever his name is, but the second one, remember that part where they just go into like the Norman Corp building and then they see Scorpion and the Vulture wings.
Yeah.
Like maybe they'll probably do that. Like, oh, okay, like next one.
Well, it just seems like Drake is the main bad guy villain in this movie. We forgot to say that, but Drake. So I don't know. He seems like the kind of guy that would have send, you know, spaceships out or you know or probes out and stuff. So I'm thinking something like that's gonna be like, oh, something probe came back from you know to. Because basically his whole thing, he's scouting shit in space for in case we want to like leave Earth and you know like,
terraform.
Yeah, and go to space, whatever. So it's safe to assume he sent some kind of like probes or things out to kind of scan for life. And I'm thinking some of them are gonna make their way back, and it's like, oh, there's you know something on it, you know, and they're gonna get loose, and they're gonna just find a host, and then you know Venom's gonna have to fight these other you know whatever. Because
That's another thing that I like. Drake, he was a pretty three-dimensional character. He was just
he was a real sociopathic killer though.
Yeah, but he was like he wanted to do the good thing by like doing all this bad shit, but
and he did have a fucking point in the movie though.
Yeah.
Where he was saying that the population's dying out, only the strong will survive.
Yeah.
And
like his whole reasoning was like, oh yeah, I'm doing this for humanity. I know it's best. Like even if I'm like killing all these like homeless people,
and
it's gonna end up being better.
Yeah, basically like
you know that's almost like Thanos. If you think about it, you know Thanos is like, you know what? He goes, you know, the world is getting bigger and there's only a finite amount of resources on planets and you know there's all so his whole reasoning was to create peace, you know, which maybe he went about it the wrong way, but his intentions, you know, in his mind, you know, he was doing good. Same thing with this Drake guy, you know, he was like, you know, I'm trying to save mankind, and he had good intentions, but he just went about it the wrong way.
I feel like this new phase and this new generation of comic book movies, I feel like we're gonna get more sophisticated killers now.
Better villains.
Yeah, better like the ones that we want.
Better symbiotes.
Better stories, like actually fleshed out villains, like Loki and
I think they should make Loki if he comes back.
Like Thanos, like they didn't have too much backstory in Avengers, but like I think there is deleted scenes, like extended scenes where like they do have extra backstory for Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they just did that because of time constraints.
And stuff. Yeah, and also I think they wanted to get into the action, and so I think I like the way they did it, where they just jump in the action, have shit starting, And then every now and again they'll do like a oh, back in my home world, he'll mention something, or they'll show a flashback and it's real short.
So do you
But
think?
it connects the dots and it tells you like like it explains it without having to be like, oh god, like
Yeah.
So like in the next Avengers, we're not gonna like have like the whole fucking full hour of flashbacks.
yeah. So it's and I it's like the Batman movies. Every time there's a fucking Batman movie, they spend the whole first 45 minutes talking about fucking Bruce Wayne and how he lost his. Everybody knows he fucking lost his parents in the alley or whatever, but every movie has to go back and redo it all over, and it's like.
And they always change the fucking killer who kills his parents. Like it's either a guy with glasses or a fucking Joker before.
I think
them.
Bruce Wayne just
Yeah.
needs
But-
to grow up
but-
and
but-
accept the fact that his parents got
Yeah,
killed.
but I mean, but like the whole point is like
That's harsh.
like it's like everybody knows the backstories, so like they don't have to keep rehashing it. It's like one of those things. Even people that don't like Batman could probably tell you, oh, his parents were killed in the alley, by whatever.
Like
But
I feel like they should do it like how I don't know if y'all ever saw the gameplay for Spider-Man, the one that just came out. Like they go into where Parker's older and had years of working on the person he is now. Like I feel like we should have more comic book characters that goes into that. Like since with Batman, fuck the story about how his parents died, bullshit, blah. Just jump into like it's been 10 years.
So that probably goes into the sequel. I'm pretty sure how we're saying, it's a pretty sure thing that's gonna happen. Cletus is probably gonna be fleshed out too. He's gonna probably show the backstory of like how he grew up with a fucked up home and
How he killed his grandmother.
how he would like get beat by his dad. I think is part of it too.
I thought it was his mom was a brutal. No, she was a whore, wasn't she?
Yeah, I think his mom was a prostitute and his dad would beat the crap out of him.
And then
basically, his boy has issues.
yeah, serious fucking
But I
issues.
hope they kind of do like a flashback of that and then like show how he got so fucked up.
I think he used to smoke weed in the parking lot before he would go to the movies.
Then how
Yeah, Cheech and Schlong over here.
what other things did you like about it?
I want to praise Tom Hardy's character because I think he's a fantastic actor in general. Not well, I mean, yes, there's other actors out there, but I think he's a real driven actor. I've seen like most of his movies. I seen a Warrior was actually one of my favorite ones that he did because he just played like this Philadelphia kind of Bronx sound guy who just wants to fight and just let out all his anger. And I feel like Tom Hardy kind of brought like a more sophisticated Eddie Brock because I'm so used to him being like more of a jockhead.
Yeah, I mean, like in the comic books when he starts out, he's a big hulking, like just like pissed off.
Like ask
Dude.
questions later and
He's
fire.
pretty stupid too. The one the Eddie Brock we got to see in this movie was he's a smart guy.
A little more intelligent, a little more vulnerable, I guess is the word. You know what I mean? Like, he's like not a bad guy. He's trying to do good things, and he's not. At first, he's a little hesitant about the suit. Oh, don't do this. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, no, don't. Like he's kind of like scared and stuff. And then eventually, he kind of like realizes that the suit's not gonna let him die. The suit's gonna protect him. So he kind of like slowly starts to kind of trust the suit, and stuff.
And also, remember that scene he was in his Chinese friend's shop.
Miss Chang.
Yeah, Miss Chang. And remember,
Chang.
so like being a reporter, you learn a few things like how to disappear. And man, you're not good.
No, he's like, you suck.
Yeah, you suck.
Like this guy's kind of good, but
like
man,
he's
he sucks.
like he knows. So I feel like that might be a thing they might also introduce with Venom, like how to like sneak around and be
Sneak
like
around. Sneak
and
up,
like
sneak
hide.
up and get
Remember how what's his name? Fucking Ed Norton did the Hulk. You know how so many years he was off the fucking universe, off the planet, and nobody knew where he was until that little fucking incident. He was off the grid. Like
soda pop
maybe we'll see like this version of Eddie Brock just doing his shit from far away, and where nobody knows where he's at. Like, I mean, that's what I feel like.
I have any Brock. Would you like cheese on your Whopper? No.
Oh,
Okay.
he said, like towards the end of the movie, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna stick to print media." You think we'll probably see him back in New York?
He'll probably be working for
Or Daily Bugle?
yeah, he'll probably be working for a newspaper, or he'll probably be doing maybe his own little like blog. You know, I missed 2018, so I mean, by the time this movie comes out, you know, maybe he'll have like a blog or some kind of like thing where he does the news on his own or some shit, or like he's working for another newspaper again.
Or whatever, like we get introduced to Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
he goes back to New York and he goes back to work.
And he's like, oh,
Like they bump into each other and we're like, oh, you're here. Like just like we're about to fight, man. I'm like literally.
Brock, what the hell are you doing back in my town? You know?
Exactly like that.
Yo, Winston Jameson, I was wondering if you can hire me for a job because I gotta feed my symbiote, you know.
I'll pay you 500. No, 300. Okay, that makes it 500.
I like how earlier today we were talking before we started the podcast. EG over here. We're talking about like how when we were reviewing the trailers. I said, "Oh, Bane's back."
Oh yeah. No, we're looking back on the last episode, and this guy was kind of
On it, yes, I was a little intoxicated.
He's just like, so they're gonna bring back Bane or something? Like, you see me like, what?
You so like, the fuck?
We just looked at him like, that boy ain't right.
Okay, so I guess pretty much we all like action, CGI. Nothing bad to say about it.
I wish they just look. My little thing is to bring back the white part of Venom, but you know.
Well, they can't because the whole reason was because in the Secret Wars that was
Spider-Man.
thing on Spider-Man. So yeah.
But no, I honestly dig the CGI. It was really good. I like how they kind of made the symbiotes more personified.
You're gonna say symbiote.
Yes, I was gonna fucking say it, you dick. The
symbiote.
The symbiotes. I like how they made the symbiotes more kind of like hive mind, because you actually do see them kind of like gather together and like.
What I liked is that the symbiotes only they're only paired to certain people. So I mean they don't just they just can't go into a random body. They got to be a match. That's why Venom and his symbiote get along really well, because they're a good match. And
yeah, I thought that was interesting how they added that part, because I think I remember in the comics like it would just like go with anybody.
Yeah,
nothing bad would happen, but like they added that whole part of like, oh yeah, they have to have a perfect match or else the host will die, and that kind of took a part with that Drake guy, because he would just like use all the homeless guys as just to see like a perfect match or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like he didn't give a fuck. He was just like, I'll pay you a sandwich if you come work for me.
I'll buy you a Subway and some fucking big chips if you come with me.
I'll listen to you sing while you do my testing.
Singing in the rain.
Oh,
okay. So,
but then Drake got matched too towards the end by Riot, which I didn't think we were gonna see him like that soon.
Where's Venom?
Yeah, Riot was a
motherfucker. You think you're gonna get like a fucking immigrant worker cutting grass and be like, ¿Dónde estás, Venom?
But where are you
¿Dónde estás, la puto? No, okay, cons. I only have one gripe with this movie, and it's a small, teeny little thing. It's there's one part when this doctor that works for the bad Drake wants Eddie to expose him because she feels bad that they're testing homeless people. And she brings him into the facility, sneaks him in, and she's telling him about aliens. And Tom Hardy does a little, oh, you mean like E.T.? And he's like, cool, does like a little goofy thing. Just that little bitty, like 30 seconds of like him being like, oh, I'm E.T. Or whatever.
See, I don't remember anyone really laughing at it.
Yeah, it was that was like.
I think everyone just kind of chuckled, but like
they're like, oh, okay, all right, Dick.
That was like singing Happy Birthday, and then at the end being like, all right, now get the fuck out of here, you fuckers, or something that's kind of like, yeah. Oh, But then afterwards, he's like, I'm just kidding, you know. So, but yeah, that was the only part that just kind of the little way he delivered that line was just a little too hokey for me, and I was just like,
Yeah, I was telling them it kind of reminded me of like that scene where Thor in Thor Ragnarok, he's talking to Saturn or whatever his name is, that big fire dude.
Oh,
he's a fire
And
symbiote.
he's hanging upside down, and he's kind of like talking to him, and he's like, I forget what he tells him, but he like spins around. He's like, wait a moment, I'll be right back. And then he comes around and he's like, okay, you were saying? So, like that scene really pissed me off, though. It kind of reminded me about that scene.
I mean, that was kind of funny for me.
Wait, which scene? In Venom or Thor?
Both of them actually.
Yeah, Thor Ragnarok, that scene pissed me off, but like that scene in Venom, it pissed me off too.
Yeah, I was just like, but it was just a few seconds, a little bitty part, but it was just kind of like, I'm like, yeah, I'm digging it. Like, fuck. And then I was like, okay, I'm back to digging it. I'm back to digging it. He shut up now, you know. And I was like, but yeah, that was my only con. Well, there was some of the scenes like the when Venom's like fighting fighting there where it was, I think, a little bit too fast. You know what I mean? Like I mean, I know he's fast and he's fighting, but there was a lot of parts where it's kind of like, oh, wait, like I guess you needed more time to process. Oh, what did he just? Oh, hang on. What he? Oh, he jumped off the chandelier and jumped. Oh, like little, kind of too fast. But I mean, that's just like a little nitpicking. You know what I mean? It's like, that's all I got, man. Everything else, I think that. Oh no, and one more gripe. Woody Harrelson's fucking wig.
Fuck.
That fucking red wig.
No, he's never gonna let it go, honestly. Woody Harrelson.
I think they're gonna fix it in the next sequel because I know people are talking shit about it. But if you're gonna look back at it, it's almost like how they fucked up Yoda in the prequels, in Phantom Menace, and he was all like a shitty ass puppet, and then the next one they're like, no, let's just make him CGI because
Yeah.
Which I think using a puppet would have actually been cheaper than doing CGI because CGI is expensive. And they came out like shit.
Are you talking about Yoda?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they fucked in the episode 1, the Phantom Menace. He's all like, like it's fucking bad.
Like, don't get him started, please. He's gonna rant.
All right, you're saying
Misa wants to rip out my pubic hairs on my wee Misa. And so anyway, I think they're gonna, I think
they're gonna fix it.
They're gonna fix it. They're gonna give him a better wig. They're gonna give him he's gonna look
that or just like shave his head.
Yeah.
And honestly, when we're coming out of the theater, I know I heard a lot of people just mention Woody's hair, and I was like, yeah, they're gonna fix it. So I mean, it's gonna get fixed.
They're like, what's up with the hair?
So
you tell right off the bat.
He's like, did you get that from an angry dog? But anyways, hey guys, you know what? These are our fucking opinions. This is how we like, how we express the pros and cons of how we viewed Venom. I love the whole movie.
You don't have any cons?
No, I really don't. I felt like it was good. It was a nice hit. Like, I honestly thought, yeah, it's gonna like draw in more people and they're gonna come back. And I was thinking what you said, yeah, like when the DVD comes out, they're like, oh, get the extended edition and all that, and we're gonna get more of it.
More like blood and stuff.
Yeah,
I know they did have a like 2 parts where like their ankles get like broken off or whatever, and they get repaired. There's I think early on when Riot's like making his way through to find a host or something.
Oh yeah,
like someone breaks their ankle or their leg or something, and
it was the ambulance girl. The ambulance, yeah, the paramedic that was on duty.
It was either that,
yeah,
or
because she got in the car crash and they went over, and she went out the window, and she broke her leg, and then all you hear is the cracking and reforming of the bones going.
Yeah, there's that, and then also
you sounded like a transformer.
Tom Hardy gets his leg broken too.
Oh, his arms too, right?
Yeah, his arms
and then you just see in that scene you actually see them all come together and
then the symbiote repairs them.
But these guys had their pros and cons in which they waved with the mighty hammer. We're saying go see it for yourselves. Don't listen to
you want to hear my cons?
Oh
yeah,
I thought we did.
No, I don't even.
No, you silenced them like a dick.
So
I'm sorry.
I had a couple of them.
Yeah, go for it.
Come on,
like, this is all you, man. Hey,
Like
hey.
how I said,
Don't
so
be like, "Come on,
I came in with like really low expectations, and I left feeling pretty good because I was thinking, oh, this movie was gonna suck dick, and then how do you put it?
when a movie's bad, I say it sucks so much dick it should come with a pimp. So, but this wasn't the case. So.
Yeah, so one of them is like the intro was kind of long, like until we saw Venom, for like
No,
right.
that was right. Yeah, it was right.
Did we see right first or Venom?
Yeah, right.
Well,
no, because we saw Venom, Scream. Is it
No, but
Scream or
we
Banshee?
didn't see them like in full costume.
No,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we saw the fuck you.
Symbiote.
They kept dragging it out like a little bit, and I felt like if you want to get like the audience like, oh shit, yeah, like you need to show Venom like right off the bat, like maybe in his home planet or something, or like you could have done a scene like in the spacecraft where you see like Venom and like fight, like maybe they have a fight and like that's how they come crashing down. I think you could have done that, but yeah, it took too long to get started to get good and shit. What other thing? See, I didn't really like what's his name, Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock that much. I felt like I like Venom more because he was like actually funny.
Yeah, I mean, I think they could have got somebody else, but
Well, the only thing I didn't like
he
is
was better than Topher Grace from that 70s show.
The thing I didn't like is like every time he talked, it seemed like he was like drunk or something.
Yeah,
Because I know he did get kind of fucked up all the time whenever he got dumped by his girlfriend or whatever.
yeah. No, but I know what you mean. He had that kind of like,
He's like,
I don't know what I'm doing because I got like a fucking
Water.
like a idiot taxi driver.
So maybe like in the next one, it'll probably just kind of be more like a badass sober.
Yeah.
Is what I'm hoping.
More sober, I think that's what you're trying to say.
Something like that.
And he did love his fucking tater tots. I tell you that.
Oh yeah, and fucking Venom was like tater tots and chocolate.
What are you thinking for tonight? It's like tater tots and
Chocolate, right?
chocolate milk or something.
You know, I just thought of something right now. Venom's symbiote was actually in there's a female homeless person.
So we see the female version.
Yeah, so I think that's why they threw that in. That's another Easter egg. Is that when Eddie Brock he goes outside his grocery store with he sees this lady out there and he gives her like $20 or something like that to help her out, whatever. And she actually gets picked as one of the homeless people that they're testing on. And I mentioned earlier that Venom was originally going to be a woman, and so I think they threw that in there, and because Eddie Brock goes in, he sees her, and he's like, "Oh, hey, it's you," whatever her name is, and he's trying to break her out. He eventually breaks the glass, and then the symbiote goes out of her and into him, and that's how he gets the Venom symbiote.
Well, we also end up seeing She-Venom whenever his girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
I thought that's what you were pointing.
Well, that was, I think, because I think the reason why it wasn't matched with her was kind of like a whole like, oh well, the first idea of Venom being a woman original like in the comic books was like a idea they scrapped, so like whatever. But yeah, but then also that was another good. The gruesome 2 comes through. There's a part where he gets separated from the symbiote, and
he's starting to feel sick too.
He gets hunted down by
he gets hunted down by Drake's lackeys, and they're gonna go execute him in the woods. And he kind of looks back and he sees like that you see like the guards behind being like taken away and stuff. So he's kind of like, okay, I see what's going on. Like something's going on, and then he kind of like does like a whole look behind you, and then his girlfriend. Michelle Williams has the symbiote on thing, whatever, and it just looks cool to see a female version of Venom. So I think that was also another homage to the original concept and stuff. So and I think there is like a Lady Venom comic book.
Well, his wife in the comics ends up with the suit at one point. She becomes She-Venom, and she kills like a couple of people, and she ends up going crazy and kills herself.
I think, and also an Asian Venom.
Yeah, and well, there's her name's Banshee. She's a female Venom.
Oh yeah, the female symbiote. Fuck.
Anyway,
there I said it.
Yeah. But so I think that was an homage to that, and to kind of, but it was kind of cool because, like we said before, like it's only compatible with
Certain
certain
people.
people. So it's weird that she, like took a chance and
I think that's kind of a thing where they're just like, we don't want to go back on our word about that. We just kind of want to progress the story, and so they were just like, we're just gonna let the fans ignore this.
Well, see, I think that sets it up. If there is ever going to be like a she Venom, there could be a thing where maybe another symbiote comes back and
that also because
and it shows because this way they can't say, oh, how come we didn't all of a sudden she's whatever, and then they can say, oh no, remember in the first one she wears the suit for a little bit, and it's like, oh yeah, you're right, so she is.
That or also they were just trying to give that Easter egg about she Venom from
that
the comics.
That too.
Also, while I was thinking while y'all guys were talking, remember the part where they both said, "Yeah, I like the power. The power's fun. The power's real good," and they both said it. So I got to thinking, like, what if the symbiote that they thought died, the purple one, which is I believe Scream.
Yeah.
What if like she comes back? What if that comes back and actually attaches to her, and then we might see her as Scream or I think it's Banshee. I'm not too sure. I think it's Scream.
I don't think that might
But-
happen. I think she's gonna be like where Venom's gonna be overrun by all these, maybe it's Carnage, maybe it's other symbiotes that come down. But I think he's gonna be like, fuck, I'm by myself. I need help, and then all of a sudden it's gonna be like, well, hey, let me put on let me get all symbiotic with,
You probably get separated again.
or something like that, and then she's
Or-
coming to help Venom. So it's like, okay, well, it's not just you, it's
pull a
me.
piece of them off.
Yeah, and he can do that.
She probably ends up getting killed, and then like he's trying to get rid of the suit because he's like, oh, this is only causing me problems, and then she gets the suit and it's like, well, someone has to face this guy. He's killing everybody, and then she gets killed, and then he's like, if only I was stronger, and then like he takes up Venom suit again. That's the way I'm thinking. It'd probably go.
And another good thing about the whole night, Mr. Eddie Gein only had one bathroom break.
Oh yeah, that was like
my new record. Yeah, but
he turned to me. He said, "Hey man,
now that
I gotta go bleed the desert, man."
now that you're talking about what's her name, Michelle
Williams.
Michelle Williams, I felt like that whole thing about like how Eddie and them are, that part where they break up. I think, and then like towards the next scene you see them and she already has a new guy. I thought that was kind of like
what it said.
dick move.
It said 6 months later,
Oh,
but still, that's still kind of early.
Dickish.
Yeah, I mean,
and she was engaged to that guy.
she was
wasn't
engaged to Eddie Brock, and then it says it has a little time gap where 6 months later, and then she's all living with a guy. He has a key to her house, and and she's all I'm in love with him. Yeah, and it's like.
And it kind of made it seem like he didn't even have a key to her house.
Yeah, he's like, oh, this guy's got a key, it's kind of weird, whatever.
Especially Tom Hardy. Is just like,
I didn't know it was 6 months in between that.
Yeah, I think you're taking a shit when this happened, but
like
no, it just shows up real. It's right when she's like when she gets fired, and he's on the street talking to her, and she's like, it's over, you did it to yourself, Eddie. And she walks off, and then it shows like a scene of like the water and like the city, and it's kind of like, I guess, dark or whatever. And it says real quick, it says 6 months later, and then it goes into whole him.
See, I didn't know.
Warming up.
I thought it was just kind of her being like a hoe, and like she already like she's already trying to forget about like Eddie Brock. Like they're engaged and stuff, and
I know, and she's like, well, the guy when he goes, what is he like? And she goes, he's a doctor and a surgeon, whatever. I was like, oh, that's why he's got money, shit.
I kind of find it weird that the new boyfriend wanted to help out the ex-boyfriend.
That's almost like
I think that was just because like he was like.
I think he's genuinely a nice dude, like.
Well, most people like there's a black couple who's like, I swear to God, if that was my ex-boyfriend, I will not let my boyfriend help him.
He did come in and like ruin their whole little date.
Yeah.
They could take a bath in the lobster tank and like eat a raw lobster. And he's like, oh, I gotta help this guy out because he might come after us again.
And he's like, and they're like, let me call the cops. He's like, no, don't do that. This is my patient.
That was one of the things that I was pointing out, like as a con. Like her just like moving on so quickly in their relationship. kind of a hoe. And well, I had one other one.
I think the doctor saw her one night and said, "Hey, little mama, got biz on you."
Oh, one of like
mama?
the biggest con I had was that fucking song they had at the end.
Oh my!
Which one was it?
I almost
The
forgot.
Eminem Venom song.
Oh, that fucking bullshit.
Eminem, Venom. Oh, I think they're trying to go for
Venom.
I think they're trying to go for
Suicide Squad.
Spider-Man, kind of like that type of.
Venom.
Yeah, so people can be like, "Oh, Venom."
Out of that whole song, all you understood was
Oh,
Venom.
it was horrible.
Yeah, and it was like, oh, Eddie.
Oh, Eddie, like eat some tater tots, Eddie.
That's fucking stupid.
I was like, and then the fucked up parts, we had to sit through that to get to the whole cut scene of the showing carnage, and it was like, this song won't stop, and of course it's a fucking THX fucking surround sound, you know, digital enhanced quality audio, and we're like,
Why?
Hijo de madre seca. And it was like, this cutscene better be worth it. And then it was like, cakes and pies. It was worth it.
Just better.
And then I was all like, yay! And then I see Woody Harrelson's fucking wig, and I'm like, God damn it!
I was gonna rewatch the ending song again, but I was like, do I wanna feel bad the rest of the day?
It's almost like saying, hey man, we bought you a birthday cake. It's sugar free, huh?
Fuck you.
Or hey, we got you a cake for your birthday. What is it? Oh, it's all organic and
the bad. It's like kind of the bad part is like that song is kind of catchy, but like in a bad way, where like you hear like someone like singing a song and it gets stuck in your head the whole day.
I think the best ending song was the Deadpool 2.
Yeah.
The Deadpool rap.
Deadpool.
You know, I thought about being Deadpool for Halloween, and I was like, I'm not gonna wear the suit because I thought about how can I get around wearing the suit because I'm too chubby for a suit. It wouldn't be Deadpool, I'd be Dead Ocean. But Dead Ocean 4 because they added two extra. No, I thought about I wear the mask and then wear the robe he wears at the end of the cutscene. The first, remember when
the Ferris Bueller?
He's all like, "What are you doing? Get out of here!" Or whatever. Or maybe just like the gloves or something like that. That was how I'd be a Deadpool for that was my thing. Yeah. Anyway, that was just a random thought.
I fucking love Celine Dion. That one.
Celine Dion.
Her song Ashes.
That was a good song. And then Holy Shit Balls.
Yeah.
Holy Shit Balls.
Holy shit balls.
Holy Shit Balls. It's Juggernaut.
So Venom. Go see it for yourself, people.
Yes, we recommend it highly.
How many thumbs up?
I got 2. How many do you got?
I give it 1.
You don't even see the one.
Hey, you know that's still you know I give it 1.5. So that's 1 full thumb.
How about if I do half and I'll make it 1?
That'll work. I don't.
One of these.
Anyways,
I think you're just happy because you had a pickle and.
Yeah,
no, I
had a pickle.
I had was it blueberry slushy?
You turned into alfalfa from the Little Rascals. I got a pickle.
I got blueberry slushy.
Dickweed.
What did I say? Alfalfa?
Yeah.
Buckwheat. Oh, you corrected me.
I fucking. Oh my god, that's like a fucking god-given thing.
The counter girl was kind of cute.
Oh yeah. Why is he getting?
Hey, any of you death heads and fathers out there are single, so is Eddie Gein.
I'm sorry, I'm taking, but hey, anything to help out my boy.
Please send numbers and photographs.
Make sure your titties are a size double D and up.
Address them to Eddie Gein.
And you gotta have an ass bigger than Jennifer Lopez.
You can be thicker than a Snicker or heavy like a Chevy. No, we ain't picky. No, he ain't picky. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm just joking. But
purely Asian petites are
pretty much anything that we can duct tape and tie up and throw in the trunk, or won't take up a lot of room.
With a little of struggle.
Or a little less struggle that won't take up a lot of room in a crawl space or attic or basement. Or maybe even a closet.
This will be a different version of Deliverance. Anyways, okay, now I
No, no. I swear to God, the next show we should get some female contestants to do the love game.
Or how about a wet t-shirt contest?
Speaking about the next shows, hopefully this is the episode where we finally debut our new intro. Can you talk about that?
Yes.
Yes, we have it. What's your brother's name? The
Killer 7.
Killer
is on
7.
some-
We got him working on our.
We'll probably be able to link it, link some kind of DeviantArt or something.
Yeah, Killer 7. He did a whole new intro for us. We're having trouble getting it and editing it together. Like I said, we're a mom and pop operation. We have there's little budget and then there's no budget, and we're on the latter side of no budget. So and then just with our day jobs and stuff, it's hard to get that. But we're hoping to improve the show as we go along. That's going to help us,
Kind of promote the
show and be a little bit more legit. Not that we're not legit now, but hopefully we'll get stuff like that going, so we can get
we
more.
Should be having by the time this goes up, we should be having a new logo, a new banner, and an intro for this episode.
Yes, and hopefully maybe after the holidays next year, we're hoping to get maybe hopefully fingers crossed, dicks and balls crossed, everything's crossed. Maybe hopefully get some merchandise out there for you guys, maybe some caps, some shirts, things like that. Bumper stickers, shit. We're gonna put our logo on everything. Cock rings,
dildos,
pencils and erasers, coasters, cell phone covers. I know they do cell phone covers.
Why not get like some of the people who work at the adult shops, like the ones that come in with the flashlight?
We'll get a dildo with Eddie Gein, and we'll call them the gruesome. It'll be a 2-pack. It'll be the gruesome 2 double pack. So it'll be a
gruesome 2 double header.
It'll be a picture of Eddie on the main dildo, and then he'll be on the one that goes in the butt. It'll be all.
And all you hear is.
And then and then they'll pull it out and be like, look at the shitty. Oh, I got a shitty day. And
okay,
this way Eddie can say, "Hey, I've literally made half a million women come at one time." So. Okay, so that was our review of Venom this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, there's a lot of spoilers, so it's kind of pointless now because if you forgot this far in the fucking video, you already know there's spoilers. So
eat a dick.
Yeah, eat a symbiote dick. So yeah, that was our show for today. Like I said, we got some more stuff coming up. Hopefully in the next, next episode or so, we're gonna get things rolling, get things a little more professional. Like I said, once we improve our operation, it's gonna
expand it out more.
And we're not doing it for us. We're doing it for you, the people out there, because we love you. I know I do. I know Drew does, and I know ED does. EG, I'm sorry. What did I say? ED?
Yeah. We're trying to promote to have a dick, not a lip one. And
anyway, yes.
In ways that John is saying, we're trying to promote and expand our things. I'm basically the talker to just say what I gotta say and what I want to say. This gentleman, this beautiful, look at that beard.
We call him.
That's a crisp beard.
He's all charisma.
That's a crisp beard. And he's all big, like long dick style. He is long dick style, people. I swear to God, he is. Like, I seen the shadow, and it was just like, and I was like in another room, bro. Anyways, but
one time we're taking a piss outside. He whipped out his wiener. It looked like that part in Independence Day when the ships come over and all the
hey, when did it get cloudy?
What happened to the sun?
But we want not just everybody that watches. We want more people and more to help us, listen to us. We're people who want to speak for y'all.
And also, we want to hear feedback from you guys. So please, if you don't leave a comment, We're all gonna get cancer and die. Please leave a comment and below. I'm just kidding. We're not gonna die.
Some of us might.
They're never gonna comment and
Please leave a.
they'll be like, I want these guys to die.
Like just come out. Look, we're cured. Fuck you.
Or you got any topics for us to talk about?
Yeah, if there's anything you want us to discuss, leave it in the comments. Shoot us.
I just suggest that we stay away from political views because.
You know what? Fuck it. You know, I made this podcast so we don't have to hold back. We can let loose. So I don't know. Fuck it. I don't care.
So,
Trump can suck my
symbiotic
shit.
Symbiote.
He can suck my nuts.
But yeah, please comment topics.
Topics. Symbiote.
Fuck you.
That's why you shouldn't. Every time you smoke weed, this happens, man.
Don't smoke weed, kids, please. But yeah, send in your topics. Send us.
No, it'd be like, kids out there, don't do drugs. Smoke weed. It's not a drug. It's from the earth.
True.
Okay, my definition of a drug is got to be some kind of fucking chemical that, and if you take it too much, you'll die. The worst thing happened to him. He threw up a hamburger. and then he felt like little needles were poking him.
Look.
Then
Hold on, time out. Before you go into further, if y'all want more of this story, please fucking subscribe. Please fucking subscribe. As we sign off, motherfuckers, we are the Deth-N-Vengeance. Ladies and gentlemen, Jonny Deth with his fingers up his nose. Mr. Eddie Gein, who will kidnap you and put you in his room and peel your skin off, people. And I am the fat
Allegedly.
Oh, which reminds me, you gotta feed the gimp when you get home.
Yes, please. He's rattling the fucking games again. Oh, and also I am Majin Drew, the fat, lovable person. Please subscribe, say hi, come see us. We work. I'm not gonna tell you where because that's illegal. Bye.